I'm Bob Babbit from Competitor Magazine, and welcome to All Out. We're at La Jolla Cove, where athletes from around the world have gathered to participate in the 16th annual San Diego Triathlon Challenge. Anyone can participate, but as you'll see, many of the athletes are missing arms, legs, or multiple limbs. And all of the athletes, whether challenged or able-bodied, are here today for an important reason. This event was created in 1993 to help Jim McLaren buy an adaptable van. Since then, the race has grown to be the Challenged Athletes Foundation premier fundraising event, helping hundreds reach a goal they never thought they could. The day starts early with the opening ceremonies where the nearly 200 challenged athletes are showcased. Notice how the Operation Rebound guys are pretty organized.
Seeing some really great inspirations in the athletes around here. This is fantastic, and I appreciate it. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Please give it up for our Lieutenant Colonel and for our man, Cody.
Good luck, Jake. This is for you.
And then the race begins in the clear, cool waters of La Jolla Cove.
3, 2, 1, go! On their way. They are all stars. This is our first wave. All right, Rudy Garcia Colson out of the water.
"650 participants funnel down the finish chute to the applause of the crowd and collect their medals.
Great job!
Thank you. A reminder of this amazing day of inspiration.
There you go.
Alongside the San Diego Triathlon Challenge is the Challenged Athletes Foundation Catch a Rising Star Sports Workshops. Led by some of the best in the sport, they're designed to prepare athletes with specific challenges for competition. It's the morning before the big race, and the Challenged Athletes Workshops are underway.
Hey, Kevin, I'm Sarah.
Kevin.
Good to meet you.
Laura.
Hey, Laura. Right on. Thanks for coming out today.
One in the pool for the paralyzed athletes, one in the gym for upper extremity amputees, and on the field for lower extremity amputees who got to work one-on-one with instructors like gait specialist Bob Babbit.
Well, everybody, this is going to be one exciting day.
Amputees are learning the valuable skills and techniques they'll need to compete with their prosthetics.
Well, good shot.
At the same time,
Go, Cameron, go! Go, Cameron, go!
building confidence
Go, let's go! Go, let's go!
and supporting friends.
Good job!
Good job.
Good job. Y'all are all doing so good.
Meet 9-year-old amputee Jake Bainter and his parents, Jody and Brett.
He had an accident, and for 4 years, he went through surgery after surgery trying to save his leg. And when we made the choice to do the amputation, it sort of set him free. And so for us, now giving him the proper equipment that he can just soar.
That equipment is an Oser FlexFoot.
The key to these feet is that you put your energy into it so it can return energy for you.
A prosthetic leg designed for running. It was donated to Jake through CAF's partnership with Oser Americas. Today, he's learning to use it for the very first time.
Now I can bounce on it, and they're presenting it to me tomorrow. I'm not supposed to know about it, but I have to know how to run on it because I'm running a race that afternoon.
This is your brand new leg with some wild graphics on it. And this is new running leg. And he said he likes this because he goes faster with it. So good luck, Jake. This is for you.
What do you think, Jake?
I love it.
Today he's doing great out here. He's learning new techniques, and we love it. We're proud parents.
Get set, go. Nice and easy. There you go. Turn your feet over, push down, look up. A little quicker, a little quicker, a little quicker, a little quicker. There you go. Good job. Next guys, let's go.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Another amazing athlete is 8-year-old Cody McCaslin. Here with his mother, Tina. Cody was born without his knees or shin bones, making his legs virtually useless. At only 15 months old, he had his legs amputated, and by 17 months, had his very first set of prosthetic legs.
And what's your favorite stroke you have?
Freestyle.
Yeah, me too.
Cody's not hindered at all by missing his legs. For him, it's just a challenge. It's just a different way of life, and he's learned to modify how he does things and do very well at them with those modifications. There you go, buddy. Where do you want him to jump in?
And those modifications have enabled Cody to become a very gifted athlete.
Cody's done a couple of Muddy Buddies, which is a race where you do some obstacles and then you go through a mud pit. He has done a couple of Iron Kids triathlons. He's the national champ for his age group and his classification with his disability. He has done the National Junior Disability Championships for both track and swimming and the Endeavor Games. So he kind of has gone all over.
All right, one by one, you can head on back.
But the most rewarding part of days like these?
You're on TV, smile!
Meeting others facing the same challenges. Others
Ready? Yep. Go.
just like them.
I feel a lot better because all of these amputees are around me instead of people that aren't amputees.
At Jake's school, he's the only amputee. So when we come here, you know, he's normal and all things are equal.
Look at that, they're bouncing.
And it's just a great way to connect.
One of the things that Cody said last year after the race was that he came up to me and said, Mom, you know, at this event, I'm like everybody else. You're different. And that to me is what Challenged Athletes Foundation and these events are really about. Good job.
One of the Catch a Rising Star workshop leaders yesterday was one-arm Willie Stewart. Willie's famous for being one of the best one-armed endurance athletes on the planet. He's completed the Ironman triathlon, won the Catalina Marathon, and kayaked the Grand Canyon. He's also here for the San Diego Triathlon Challenge and joins us for a little bit of a chat on All Out. So, Willie, you've been here for so many years. It seems like it's gotten bigger than ever before.
Bigger, better, and helping more people. It's from a younger age, which is just amazing. Some of the kids here are just amazing, and their parents are, it seems like CAF brought their parents back to life.
For you, you really didn't have that mentorship when you were first injured. Did you have anybody to look out for you and somebody to mentor you a little bit?
There really wasn't, and what's really amazing about CAF today is if this would have helped my mother and father, who had no hope when your kid gets hurt.
Yeah.
But my mom and dad never would have struggled like they did for the years, thinking, is Willie going to come back? Certainly I would have come back. I now know that it would have taken me 2 or 3 years, but I would have been back.
Yeah.
But back then, I thought it was over.
Because you really didn't have somebody to show you the way.
Yeah, and no one's saying you're going to go kayak the Grand Canyon or ride a mountain bike or run marathons or do Ironman 4 times. Right. No one's saying, hey, Willie, you can still do Ironman. Well, now when a kid gets hurt or a kid's born with a disability, someone's like, you can do whatever you want. And it's proven now.
When I see a lot of our athletes, it used to be, oh, it's so nice that, hey, that let the one-arm guy come play, let the guy with the lower leg amputation come play. Yeah. But now our guys are kicking butt.
Now, you know,
there's a different perception.
And when I go out there, when I put the number on, I want to beat as many people as I can, and some days I win the whole thing. Some days I'm just on fire, and some days I'm not. But boy, it's nice being in the race, and it's nice beating people. And it's great because they respect your competition, your athletic ability. Not that you have one arm or one leg. They just respect you as an athlete. And I think a lot of us just want that fair game, fair respect. And I respect all my competitors, and I love it when they pat me on the back and say, hey, Willie, great race.
After the break, we'll continue with our man, Willie Stewart. And coming up, we'll see the preparations that Rudy Garcia Tolson made to participate in his first Ironman 2 weeks ago in Kona, Hawaii. We're back with one-arm Willie Stewart, and Willie, kayaking, mountain biking, running. For a long time, you competed without an artificial arm, without a prosthetic. How big a difference has that made, and how involved with you with the creation of this?
Well, I think kayaking one-arm kayakers, there may be someone, but one-arm kayakers above the elbow, it doesn't exist. And it took months in a pool every day at 4 a.m. in the morning for months to figure out how to do it and how to hit a roll above your head. And then to go in the Grand Canyon and just survive. I was pretty proud of myself on that one, but it took a long time. It wasn't an overnight thing. But now I think anyone could use it. Mountain biking, this thing was a guy out of Canada, and then we put it together more for Xterra racing and stuff. Changed my life. I mean,
really?
When you're talking 20 years after my injury before I got an arm. And when I put this thing on, I'm like, you guys have been cheating all these years. This isn't fair. I mean, I ride sometimes a 24-hour solo mountain bike race, and I just put this, plug it in, and rest my hand. And I said, guys, you need to maybe chop a hand off or something, because this is so much easier with one hand missing, because I never feel pain.
The other side of that is when you were competing with just one arm, if you were doing something like the Ironman, and it's so windy, you really couldn't take your arm off the handlebar because to grab water. So you had to carry basically water for 112 miles.
I carried all the water that you needed to start the race, and if I did need something, and if I needed something and the wind was blowing and I reached to grab it, I might crush some of the other competitors because the wind hits you and you're 6 lanes over. And, oh, sorry, I just ruined your Ironman debut, but I got my goo. You know, and that would stick out. If I crashed them and a one-arm guy did it, it would be bad for the rest of us. So it's super safe now. A lot better for me to do. It may not be as aero as I used to be, but it makes it so the race is so much more comfortable. And it's kind of nice to say I enjoy Ironman.
Who inspires Willie Stewart?
You know, we're going back. Back in here with CAF years ago when I was learning was Melanie Ben, and Jim McLaren inspired me to be a quadriplegic and to keep moving on, and it's a tough fight that he fights every day, and he has a smile on his face.
Right.
I mean, that's a tough world. And Melanie Ben missing her arms and legs and coming out here probably 6 months after she lost her limbs, 20 years old, super cute, beautiful girl, jumps in the water and swims a 1.2 mile swim. What do you think I'm thinking? I'm like, I'll never complain about anything again. I'm like, Melanie, you're my hero. And then you have Rudy, of course. And watching Rudy when he started running those miles and he ran a mile in sub-6, I'm like, this kid is unreal. And that was before he was really a big shot swimmer. Yeah, he was a great runner too, and people forget about that about Rudy. But Rudy's a tough nut, and now you come out here and there's 190 disabled athletes here this weekend.
Yeah.
190, and they're good, really good.
Well, it seems like the mentoring and just the availability of information. The other night you guys did a clinic with the moms and dads to talk about how you can share information.
Hey,
and that's huge.
When you see it, when a mom has a kid or a dad has a kid that has a disability or is traumatically injured, there's nothing they can really do. They can love them, but there's nothing they can do. And so they don't know until that kid comes back. But then when they look around and they see all these superstar kids with disabilities and they realize they're like, there's a lot of hope here. And hope is a big thing. It's big to people. And I'm talking able-bodied or disabled. If you feel hopeless, where are you going to go? But CAF brings a lot of hope into people's lives. And then you look around too, and the value that some of these athletes, like the kid I just was down running with at the 5K, missing his legs, and he runs 11.7 second 100 meter. 11.7 seconds, he's missing both his legs. And these guys are struggling just to go walk a mile. You know, these are able-bodied people. He inspires them, he inspires other disabled athletes, but he inspires all of us as a bigger community.
If you look back at the best races you've ever had, what sticks out?
For me, my big races are the ones that were always the toughest. The ones where it fell apart for everyone, like when I won the silver medal in the Paralympics in cross-country skiing. It was snowed 3 feet the night before. When I won the Catalina Marathon, it poured down rain. It was raining sideways, you know? I mean, if you look at all some of in my best wildflower, when I won the age group thing, it was another pouring down. They shut down the course day. It was freezing cold. One of my things that I do quite well is I race the same when it's really tough conditions, and a lot of people buckle. And I take great pride in the fact that I have the courage, I think, to hang in there under tough conditions. And then I realized years later that I think my courage actually rubbed off on a lot of the kids and parents here for 16 years now. So I'm pretty proud of myself on that aspect more than anything.
You've been here pretty much every year. Does it ever get old?
Oh my goodness, no. And remember, I met Jim McLaren right after he got a spinal cord injury, and I walked down to the cove here probably 4 months later after meeting Jim, and I did my first swim right here.
Right.
To do this race 16 years, probably 15 years ago was the first time I did it, and I could barely make it to the buoy. And now I think I've done 6 Ironmans. I'm like, and swimming 2.4 miles is a piece of cake. And when I lost my arm, I would have never believed that I could have swam 100 yards, much less 2.4 miles.
What does it do for people watching on television right now who think, yeah, my back's a little sore, I don't know if I can run today, I got a little head cold, I don't know if I can go for a bike ride. How does what you do, what Rudy does, what Melanie Ben does, how does that impact the average person at home?
I think it lets us all believe that, we have a common bond, and in that common bond, if we have the right spirit and the right drive, we all start to believe, at least I believe this, that we can do anything we really want. We just got to want to do it, and then you have to be able to commit to it for months at a time and realize there's setbacks. It doesn't happen overnight. Setbacks might go on. For some of these spinal cord injured guys, the setbacks might last 4 years. But if you stick to it in 4 years, you could be towing the line at Kona.
You see Rudy, and he set his goal to do the Ironman. And a couple weeks ago in Kona, he swims 1:05, but he misses the bike cutoff time by 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Any doubts that he's going to get that?
No. And Rudy's a kid, and he towed the line. And the fact is, Ironman should kick your butt. But Rudy, it took me from the time I lost my arm when I was 18. At 20, I wanted to be an Ironman, and I didn't do it until I was 35. Think about it that way, Rudy. Rudy's a superstar. There is no failure. To anyone that toes the line at Ironman's my idol.
Another group that we've seen so much growth in, David Bailey, athletes like that, Carlos Mileta. And I love the fact they changed the perceptions of what someone in a wheelchair could do, because the thought was at Ironman, be lucky to even finish the race. Now they're racing to try to go sub 10 and a half.
Those guys are superstars, but what people don't realize, like Carlos Mileta 1 year spent a year on his face. A year on his face because he had a pressure short. David Bailey was out of action and almost died 2 years ago.
Yep.
And came back and did Ironman. People don't know these things. These guys, their day-to-day life is a struggle and a fight. And then their day-to-day life that's a struggle and a fight, and then they get off their butt after laying in bed for 2 years and then go back and do Ironman. And you want to say, do I get motivated by these guys? Who doesn't get motivated by these guys? We need to tell those stories because those stories change lives, and that's what this organization's all about.
All right, thanks, Will.
Thank you, Bob.
Don't go away. Rudy Garcia-Tolson competed in his first Ironman 2 weeks ago in Kona, Hawaii, and we spent a day with him as prepared for what he knew would be a very grueling event.
Rudy Garcia-Tolson is hoping to become the first double above-knee amputee to finish the Ford Ironman World Championship. He is training on this day with the 2000 Ironman World Champion in the hand cycle division, David Bailey. Garcia-Tolson's journey to Kona began when he had both legs amputated at the age of 5.
Rudy Garcia-Tolson was born with pterygium syndrome, club feet, webbing on the fingers, a cleft lip. Yet Rudy has a much stronger spirit within, a spirit to overcome his physical challenges, to participate in sports, and to inspire others.
I think it was kind of an easy decision for me because I had two options. They were to cut my legs off or to stay in the wheelchair the rest of my life. And just one thing that came to my mind was just to cut them off because I wanted to be just like everyone else.
That kid went through hell. He wanted to walk. You could just see it in him. He wanted to get up and walk, and he couldn't.
At age 7, he began competitive swimming, participated in his first triathlon the next year, and set his sights on a dream.
I've heard of the Paralympics, and I just thought of it as really like the Olympics, because that was my goal since I was 8.
With sports, Rudy has truly become a typical California boy. He runs a sub-6-minute mile, boards in skate parks, and in video games. He surfs with friends. He's active.
I love to run, and I love to bike, and of course swimming I also surf, which I just got into a couple years ago, which I really, really love because I'm in the water. Skateboard, which I haven't been skateboarding a lot because I don't want to get hurt for swimming, so I've been easing off of that. But yeah, those are a couple sports that I do now.
There's a sport for everybody out there. It doesn't matter if you're disabled, if you're challenged, or you're not.
Having been touched by this young man's spirit, many are inspired. Triathlon legend Scott Tinley and actor Robin Williams have teamed with Rudy over the past 6 years in an annual triathlon.
I get to come in contact with extraordinary people like Rudy. You meet amazing people who blow you away in terms of their, just their sheer strength and power of the stuff that they do.
People we don't even know email Rudy. Write him letters and say, thank you for being the person you are. Thank you for giving me the inspiration. You changed my life.
I love to inspire people. I like to show people that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. One of the messages that I love to carry on is my motto, which is a brave heart is a powerful weapon.
Rudy Garcia Tolson's biggest challenge is that he's riding a bike without quadriceps or hamstrings. He'll be pushing his way through the 112-mile bike ride with only the use of his glute muscles. David Bailey understands overcoming adversity and the challenge of Ironman, and he thinks Rudy's up to the task.
I had no idea what to expect riding with Rudy. I watched him grow up. I mean, he's just from a little kid, helping him get a van and swimming and stuff. And I didn't even think he could ride a bicycle. I was like, how in the world is he going to be able to do that? And, it's pretty cool. We're just cruising along, looking up at him, and he's just moseying along at 18. And I'm like, you okay? He goes, yep. It's not a big deal for him, but when I'm watching him ride, it's like, it just seems impossible. But we rode 60 miles, no sweat, so I don't have any doubts that he'll be able to pull it off.
Rudy competed in his first Ironman 2 weeks ago in Kona, Hawaii, swam 105, but missed the bike cutoff time by 8 minutes. He's the first double above knee amputee to even attempt the Ironman triathlon, and we're looking forward to see how he does next year.
To learn more about the Challenged Athletes Foundation, their programs, their events, or how you can donate or become involved, visit their website at www.challengedathletes.org.
I'll never forget my first race.
My heart was beating out of my chest.
I felt dizzy.
I thought I was gonna die. I was scared.
But I felt unstoppable.
Because at that moment,
I knew.
it hit me. I realized.
I realized.
Why walk when you can fly?
Fly.
Fly.
Well, that's it for this edition from the San Diego Triathlon Challenge. Our next show will be at the Muddy Buddy race in lovely Temecula. Until then, thanks again for joining us, and remember, if you're swimming, running, doing a triathlon, you always want to be going all out.
Stay with Channel 4 San Diego for more exciting, unique local programming. Channel 4 San Diego, only on cable television, not available on satellites.